When you open up the DocuSky edition of the Daoist Canon, it'll look like this. Here you have the Wuliang Durenqing, some metadata here. These texts are all from Kanglipo, so these headers are at the front of the text from Kanglipo. Of course, these pages are blank because the first gen of the Durenjing is the triptych, is the picture. But the second file will then begin here. So you have the Wuliang Durenjing Juanji starting here. Okay, so if we want to learn more about the files, you can click on here, the doc meta, and the doc meta will tell you some of the metadata about the text. We're in the process of editing these. It'll be a little more refined. Instead of a GIS code, we'll have the place in which it was created. Of course, this is by Ge Chaofu, so that's a tag for Jirong. So it will come up on a map. The time range is from shipper, I believe, and we've got the pinyin title, the dates. It's not really the date of the author; it's the date of roughly of when it was written. All right, but if you want to know a little more about it, you can look in the comment section. And the comment section here gives you all kinds of information from the Daozang Tonghao. So you have the Daozang number, and you see here that it's got 3 genres. Genre 1 is Lingbao. Genre 2 is canonical Lingbao scriptures, and there's no genre 3. But in other texts there are genre 3. Let me explain what that is. So if we look at the Daoist canon, the Daozang Tonghao, you'll see that there's this hierarchical catalog that he uses, right? So genre 1 would be at this level here. In here we have philosophy. Genre 2 is the subcategories of that. So we've got under philosophy, there are texts, commentaries, divination, medicine, pharmacology, etc. Oh, sorry. This is the genre 1, these are genre 2. You can see it says 1A, 1A. And then 1A2, again, this would be genre 1 level. And then this is the genre 2 sublevel. Some of these categories have even more. Lingbao scriptures, the long treatises. So let me give you an example of genre 1, genre 2, and genre 3. If we look at in the Suitang section of the Daozang Tonghao, you'll see here you have Lingbao, which is 2B7. And then under that, there's a subcategory of 2B7A scriptures, another of litanies, rituals and rules. So these would all be genre 2 level. But under that, under Lingbao scriptures, there's a third subcategory, which is we call genre 3, which is the long treatises, the medium-length scriptures, and the short doctrinal and prophylactic texts. So this way you get a sense for what genre 1, genre 2, and genre 3 are. Now, let's do, so that explains what these are. Here you have the place where it was compiled, the author, this is the editor, here we have them in pinyin. Yeah. Okay, obviously we're in the middle of some cleanup. There's the commentary. The function here refers to Yendong as the commentator. Eastern Zhou, the 6 dynasties, that means it's because Shipper didn't give a section for that, so that becomes from that large section of Shipper's catalog, Eastern Zhou to 6 dynasties, because he didn't specify it. Now, this has been gone through by students and a postdoc who's not a Taoist scholar. So this dynasty thing could obviously be improved. Of course, we know this is an Eastern Jin text. So these kind of refinements are what we need to look out for, and I'd appreciate your help in advising on. So that's why we have this crazy not before and not after date between 770 and 589. Okay, now let's do a little bit of a, let me show you how you can also sort by this. If we go up here, you can see there's search, metadata, and tag. Now, right now the metadata function don't bother with that, that's under development. We're going to change that a little bit to reflect the data that you see in here. This section, however, is the important one. let's look at tag. So as we click tag, you can then begin to filter. You'll see over here you can do tag analysis, and you'll see again these categories, the genre 1, genre 2, genre 3, and these other major categories that are on the right side of the screen. You can now filter through all of your search results on the left-hand side. So let's do a little search for Wei Furen. Okay, now I'm going to do a 重新查询, and we'll do a search for any text that contain Wei Furen. And look, we've got 75 matches for the query Wei Furen. Now, what you can then do is scroll through here, and you see genre 1 level. There's all of these different genres which contain juan that have the word Wei Furen. Sacred history and geography, and Lingbao, and Dongzhen, and Shangqing. Now, of course, this isn't ideal because in Schipper's Taoist canon, the index for the Tang, he has called Shangqing text, he's called it the Dongzhen division. But for the the Six Dynasties portion, he's called it Shangqing. So these appear as two separate categories. So we want to merge these kind of categories to make it more efficient, to make it easier to navigate. Let's see if I can do. Let's see, but we can also refine this. So what this enables us to do, if I want to look at the Dongzhen and the Shangqing, right, the Tang and the Liu Chao texts within Schipper's thing, I can select those and then do Guolü. That will now filter down, and you can see now we're just left with these. If we want to look at the subcategories of texts, we can see that they appear in manuals, in anthologies, in canonical texts, and in scriptures. These are general categories that Schipper has put in. I would assume here that canonical Shangqing scriptures and scriptures can be merged into the same category. This kind of work, if you come across these tips for editing the metadata, it would be really helpful to make it better to use. Genre 3, there's only the anthologies, okay? All right, and then we can look at any people who have edited or had their hands on it. We have these different authors and editors. Okay, now if we wanted to, and we can further filter down, of course, right? So if we want to see Tao Hongjing's text, we can then drill down onto that. Say we want to add Ziwei Furen as well. We want to see which texts come up with Ziwei Furen. Okay. Then we can do, remember here I did 重新查询, that would reset and do a whole new analysis. But here I can do 缩小范围, which will then reduce down to texts within the result we already have, and now we can see texts that have both Ziwei Furen and Wei Furen. Yeah. And so you have one text by Huayang Yinju and these others, and Tao Hongjing. Okay, now you'll notice that the entire text appears here, and the term is highlighted. Here we have Wei Furen. And here it's Wei Furen again. But it's a long thing to scroll through to look at the results. So what you can do is click here, this S button, and you see it says snippets. And that will reduce it down so you can just quickly skim through. So here we have the Zhenggao. We have and we have these other four texts. Oh, somehow this has got, okay. There's 3 texts in fact, but they have these 4 author names attached to it because of course Huayang Yinju and Tao Hongjing are the same person. Now, one of the things to look out for here is this little number down here. This is the Daozang number, of course, of the Zhenggao. This number here is the ID code for the files in Kanglipo. And here is the Juan number. I want to get the Juan number in here, because we should have it appear in here. Okay, so that is a basic worker, kind of how to get around and how to analyze some of the materials that are in here. It's because it requires both expertise in the Taoist canon and a lot of and knowledge of Taoist texts to point out fallacies or strangenesses, as well as this digital methodologies. At the moment, it's beholden just on me, and we really need more eyes on the project to kind of talk about how we can improve these materials and make it easier for everyone to use. So thanks a lot for listening, and I hope you enjoy playing with the Daozang DocuSky.